I don't see it. That didn't catch up.
We have to care about agents. Screaming at a drag show, so. Right. I'm like, okay.
The pizza boxes.
Right.
So we.
Fire all. All right, so we're back here on the mic. I have namesake DJ DellaSala with me. You just got back from quite a trip. Where were you?
Oh, so we were invited to go to Dallas with my mentor, coach Tom Ferry, and 20 other very high-producing teams around the country to lock ourselves in a room, talk about what works, what's working, and what is going to work in the future.
And how many of those people do you think are just kind of like sitting behind a desk, feet up, and just like relaxing throughout day to day, week to week?
I don't think anybody works less than probably 80, 90 hours a week. It's freaking insane.
Right.
Just because, look, being in a room full of big thinkers and people that are trying to do great things, there's nothing more exciting for me. And to know that we're probably going to be in that room again, not only is it like big thinking, we're also very competitive.
Right.
So everyone's sitting in the room like, all right, I can do that, that, and that. And so everyone's going to leave there, implement a bunch of stuff, which in turn works more, and then see what happens.
Well, yeah, I remember you saying even yesterday, talking about something that we do really well that everybody else saw and was like, man, like, that's so clever, but like just won't bow to do it because obviously there's like that, you know, flattery of replication, but at the same time they just want to they want something for their own that speaks the same way. Now, how does someone get into a circle like that? Is that something, obviously you were invited, but you've just constantly been obsessed with this, with coaching, with honestly, with getting in a room like that? That's all I've heard for 2 years is you just constantly being obsessed with that and putting that as like your number one priority on top of everything else you're doing.
Yeah, just getting in the room, thinking different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's what coaching does. And, you know, I played sports my whole life. Coaching not only holds you accountable and what, you know, sure, that's great. But in this stage of my life and with it, you know, we have a really successful group right now.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches help you think different. They help you think bigger, and they do hold you accountable because if you don't think bigger every year, you know, Tom has me writing out my 20-year plan. And I started writing this letter, and this letter is probably going to take me, I've been working on it now for like 3 weeks, and I probably have another 3 to 4 weeks to go. And it's insane to really start putting yourself 20 years down the line. Noah will be 36 years old. Which is
That's
crazy. So just the kind of mind frame you got, but you know, you do it in stages like 1 year, 3 year, 5 year,
Right.
7, 10,
Right.
etc.
And they say doing things that scare you will always help you grow. Obviously, this is something, I mean, think about your own son being 36 years old. That's probably something that scares the ever-loving you-know-what out of you.
It's kind of sad. I'm kidding.
Well, it's sad, but I mean, I was just over your place, I think it was 2 weekends ago, and Noah was going, like, driving because, like, he's...
I know. He takes his driving test in like a week.
That's wild.
Minorly, you know.
Did you give him a good bike?
Yeah, he thinks he's getting a truck. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll keep that on ice.
So my anxiety, you know.
Right.
Next year will be through the roof with him driving. A lot of sleepless, you know, until he gets home nights. But
Good. Because I don't think you didn't have enough anxiety, enough stress. You weren't working hard enough. You're just like adding gasoline. It's just like that meme of that character sitting in that fire, and it's just like, it's fine. Like,
so
that's you.
Good news is with him driving, we will have a new employee of the DJ&Lindsey team.
I love that. Yeah, because we've I don't want to say we're spread thin, but we're spread thin. We have a lot of people, you know, making things happen because there's a lot that goes on. I mean, we provide a lot to our agents, and they rely on us, and it's great because it's a two-way kind of street there. Like, you know, they provide for us, we provide for them, and it's one of the great things that people love about being here.
So I just heard two things that I just read yesterday.
Hit me.
So it was about, you know, hard work. I saw, you know, I don't know if it was a real quote, but it was online, so it had to be real, right?
Had to be.
It's definitely real.
It's 100% real.
But it was like Elon Musk says, I've worked 16 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Right.
365 days a year, and people still call me lucky.
Right.
And it's like it resonates because
Yeah.
I think people like really think like there's not this crazy, no, not just here with any successful people, and then followed by that probably three scrolls down of the old Facebook, it said that leaders are uncomfortable every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And that really resonated with me as well, because I wake up, I walk through, every door every day. It's uncomfortable. It's like, man, I got to do these things. We have to make uncomfortable decisions. We have to make sure we're moving the ball forward.
Right. Because you have 1,000 eyes looking at you constantly to like, what's the next move?
Yeah. And it's the next move because it's uncomfortable, because it's taking risk, it's doing things,
Right.
and it's going places that I truly don't think there's a lot of teams going where we're doing what we're doing, or brokerages even for that matter. So
Right.
it's definitely uncomfortable trying to pioneer this, the way we're trying to call it 𝙒𝙬𝙗 the real estate world.
Right. I mean, even just the announcement you made yesterday in our morning meeting, that we won't go really that into, but just a way to include and incorporate other people from real estate to allow them to kind of be in the conversation with us, because we want people to understand who we are, how hard we work, the service we provide. Some people can't get on board with the full suite, so we're just trying to figure out how we can kind of like let them be a part of the conversation. I think it was very well understood, received, and like I think they loved it, right?
Yeah.
So
Lots of exciting things happening next year, and I'm like,
yeah, I mean,
and it's gonna so Todd and team do a really good job. I think you guys have been missing the big announcement kind of lead up videos. We're gonna have a bunch of those coming up soon. So
we one thing that this department is known for is like big hyping of something up. I remember when we last April Fools, we did the thing of you guys purchasing the lighthouse.
That was amazing.
Yeah, but the number one comment that like got like, I don't know, like 30 likes or whatever it is, was that I know this isn't real because there was no hype lead up to it. But had there been hype lead up to it, this is a very plausible thing that we would have painted it purple, fully branded it, privatized the lighthouse, and just completely.
I have the most insane one for this year.
Oh gosh.
So coming soon. We're gonna hype this one though.
We have one that we've been kicking around that we thought was fun. It's not as good as last year. It was just kind of like, oh, that would be funny. And then Matt and I kind of like took off on a character that we were building for that. That was really funny.
Good.
But so
we'll have some real ones Q1,
right.
and
so
then
we'll have some real ones. But so from Dallas, you guys, it wasn't it. The trip didn't end in Dallas.
My wife is the best planner in the world. So we got to Dallas on Tuesday. Went to a Dallas Mavericks game, Brooklyn Nets, which is insane.
Well, let's not skip that. You were literally courtside.
So I was supposed to go with Tom. Tom calls me. He goes, "Hey, I need to be 100%. I'm not, I just want to kind of get myself together because I have all these people coming in.
Right.
Does Lindsey want to go?" And it's like, yeah, Lindsey loves basketball. So he's like, so Lindsey and I went, and
I mean, Noah sent you guys a photo. You guys are on TV. Then you guys sent me a photo of somebody else on the bench, and you guys are in the background.
Yeah, Luka
like,
Doncic. Yeah. And then I'm eating popcorn, which I'm like, good thing it wasn't like falling out and embarrassing.
Yeah. That was probably a wild experience.
A great experience. Dallas, if you guys haven't been there, Dallas is a really cool city.
I think it might have been Lindsey talking about just like how clean this
was. Just like we walked to the game. They have great restaurants, the people. I mean, it's just it's top notch, and I really enjoyed it. I've been there 3 times
Does
now.
it feel like a southern city, or does it kind of feel like New York, just clean, and in Texas?
It's like a good mixture of both.
Right.
It's hard to explain. The walkability is really good.
That's awesome. Because Houston's not like that at all.
Yeah, so Houston's not like that. I would argue Chicago isn't really walkable. It's so spread out.
Yeah, Chicago is also kind of strange that way.
But great city. But it's just, I don't know. You meet people there, and some, Texans are great. Great people.
Yeah, right. They're very welcoming if you're on their good side.
Well, good thing I haven't been on the bad side yet.
Right. That's good. All right. So hit me with the
So then we get
plan.
this call. So she's back to her being organized. So we're planned out. We're gonna fly home on Saturday morning. I get a call from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're like, "Hey, would you be interested in flying on a plane with us to Nashville on Saturday, going, doing a dinner, and then going to the game on Sunday at the Titans?"
And you just hit him with the nah.
I was like,
Nah,
nah, I can't do that.
Nah.
So I was like, all right, I just need 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes.
I need 5 minutes.
I got to figure out how I'm going to pitch this to Lindsay, because I know her. She's like, all right, I'm going to do laundry. I'm going to get myself prepared for the next week, and this is going to be great. So I changed the flight. So we were supposed to land here at 1, but we were leaving here in Jacksonville at 1. So I changed it to land at 10:17.
Okay, which makes
So
sense.
I went to her and I was like, hey, I changed our flights. And I was like, guess what? We're going to Nashville tomorrow. And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, funny.
Funny.
Okay, well, yeah.
So we land here Saturday, eat lunch, jump on a plane, land in Nashville, check into the hotel, meet incredible people that are, within the Jaguar organization, that work there. So I mean, it's just top notch all the way.
Right. And we missed each other. So in a insane bout of irony, I was in Nashville because my sister had just graduated from nursing school, and literally we missed each other by like 10 or 12 hours. I left, you guys landed, and the hotel that we were staying at was directly in, like, across the street from the Titan Stadium.
That's crazy.
So, and like my parents are like, do DJ and Lindsay want to like meet up? And I'm like, no.
Yes.
No.
I'm gonna go on record. Yes. So
I'm like, no, you're not allowed near them unsupervised. I'm like, I'm not staking my entire career on the two of you meeting them in a foreign city where you guys have no clue where they are. They have no clue where they are. Yeah.
So another great city, Nashville.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this is two of my favorite cities.
Back to
Nashville
back.
is rad too. So
Yeah.
did you go to a honky tonk?
So we walked up and down Broadway a little bit.
You didn't go in a honky tonk.
Well, there's like 3 of them. There's like
There's 400 honky tonks.
Well, I was going
on
to say, so
Broadway.
there's the one that's right on, I think, 3rd and Broadway, which I've been in before. So that was my 3rd time there.
Okay.
So Tootsie's, I've been there. It's great. The stage, I love it. But I was there with my family, so obviously you kind of like.
How did you know it was at Tootsie's in the stage?
Well, there's staples there.
Okay.
Tin Roof is a staple there.
Tin Roof's really good. I heard
Yeah.
some of my best acts there.
Yeah.
Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Kid Rock has some of the best acoustics, I think.
We did Jason
Place is
Aldean's
loud.
rooftop,
That's
which
cool.
connects to Luke Bryan's rooftop, but is all above, what's it called? Something Cowboy, Tequila Cowboy, which is also a cool spot, which is like the bottom where it's got like the old Chevy or Cadillac or something.
I just got an idea because we've been on the mic with Todd for so long. Comment below if you think that Todd should sing Honky Tonk on the next episode.
Yeah.
We'll get some music in the background.
Yeah.
So comment below what song you want Todd to sing.
Yeah.
And
I think that'd be a good
he'll
idea.
prep. And I think it'll be really good.
Yeah. I think it'll be all right.
No pressure.
And if it does well, whoever the artist is, we'll see if they'll want to duet it on TikTok or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see Tim McGraw does that a lot. Tim McGraw like remixes other people's TikToks of like them singing his song.
Really?
Yeah, he's like big on that. We got to think a lot of those artists, like when they went into quarantine, it's just like a fight for like staying relevant, kind
Yeah.
of like Elton John and Dua Lipa put out like songs together, right? Like it's just like so like how can we be so different because we can't go out, like we can't have concerts, we can't do all these things. So people just started doing like insanely weird things. So here's Tim McGraw, a country music star, TikToking with like people who have no clue what they're doing.
On that note, you know what I really hope happened through all of that? I really hope writers of movies started getting creative again, and shows.
Right.
Because it just seems like we just remake all of the same movies anymore.
Yeah.
The creativity space in Hollywood, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it has definitely
not because
decreased. So
how-
hopefully them taking a bit to
Right.
slow down helped a little bit.
how many more Fast and the Furious movies do you think you're gonna not
You
see?
know, I think when Noah's 36, we should be at Fast and Furious Centurion.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was ridiculous when we were at like 4. I'm like, all right, this is like getting pretty wild. But now they're like at Fast 9. I'm like, at what point? Like, I think whatever new one they make has to feature Elon Musk, has to feature a space shuttle. Like, I don't know at this point. It's just getting insane. But it's back to what you're saying. It's like, why are we just churning out the same things. I mean, granted, some classics have come a long way.
Right.
Like Steven Spielberg just redid West Side Story, so that's coming out.
It's going to be really good. I love Batman. I'm excited to always see the Bat. So
Right.
but
But Christopher
storyline.
Nolan's Batman is like different. I watched The Dark Knight on the plane. The movie's legendary. It's just so good.
Who's your favorite Batman of all time?
Well, it's definitely not George Clooney. So let's start there. I think it would, if I had to rank it in order, I would probably do Christian Bale, then probably Val Kilmer, then maybe like Michael Keaton, then probably Adam West, and then George Clooney. I'm interested to see how Robert Pattinson does it. I don't think Ben Affleck is.
Yeah, he didn't make that cut.
Yeah,
for sure.
that was just strange.
It was a reach, but
yeah, I don't know where that came from. That was strange. But yeah, that's that.
Christian
I think
Bale was really good.
Dude, he's so like you though. He's just obsessed with the craft, right? So like, yes, it's great to motivate yourself with whatever the paycheck of the industry you're in, but that just follows suit because he's just obsessed with it. I mean, look at even things he's done. He did American Hustle. He was like 260 pounds. Then he did whatever what was the boxer movie with Mark Wahlberg or somewhere he plays like the brother.
Not for brother.
No, it's gonna kill me. But he's like
he's
like 40 pounds.
Yeah,
he's like rail thin. For the Dark Knight, he was just beefy, thick cut. Like it's just someone who just puts their physical body on the line and is obsessed with
that. What was that magic movie he was in too? That was really good.
The Prestige.
Yeah, great movie. I mean, does a good
well,
job.
right. I mean, but the point is that he's just obsessed with it, and people just think, man, Christian Bale's so lucky. It's like,
no, look at all of that.
Right? Like, look how hard he works. I mean, American Psycho, people saw him, and it was a shock when people found out he wasn't even an American actor.
Yes.
I'm like, that's in itself is like a huge task. But again,
And I always think about coming from us doing video,
right?
How ridiculously hard it is, right?
Hard.
And to know what they're doing on sets just to get a scene and how many hours they have to film. How many hours they have to prep to then film? Like to go, like it's that industry is
right. I mean,
crazy.
Let's look at even the incident with Alec Baldwin. That happened during a rehearsal.
Right.
There was no camera even rolling, and they were literally going through everything. And some people just want to be like, oh, I say this all the time. I should have a podcast. I should do this. I'm like, if you're not doing it already, what makes you think that if someone showed up with $300,000 worth of crew and equipment that you would just all of a sudden just be like, yep.
Right.
Like, I'm doing it now.
Matthew McConaughey, too. He's another person that really dives into the roles and does all that.
And kind of like, again, and I use self-made because, at least Hollywood to me, I'm like, anyone can fit, for the most part, any role. Right? But it's who's going to embody that character, who's going to literally, like, tough it out. I mean, I just learned that when I guess you like petition for an Academy Award. You like have to like go around, make these rounds every time you're going to these festivals and like petition that your character, your movie is up for an Academy Award. It's like not just like man, that movie was sick. All right, here's an award, right? But again,
yeah,
it's like, so lucky. It's like not luck.
But for those who haven't out there, the audiobook Green Lights is absolutely a must listen to. Matthew McConaughey reads it. It's a fascinating book. It's a storytelling. It's really really captivating.
Didn't you put that up in our book club?
Yeah, we did it for book club. Everyone loved it.
So
I've listened to it 3 times.
Right. And one thing we do here it's Wednesdays up here. When is it? Is it
Wednesdays? Thursday? Yeah.
Thursday. Okay.
Thursday.
Yeah. Is we have a book club here, and like it's constantly packed, and we're gonna start featuring it more. My team and I are working on a way that we can constantly feature it. Kind of get you guys involved where you can be a part of it. If maybe you're a brokerage or you just want to be a part of a book club, you just don't know where it fits in, you can kind of remotely fit into that because it is really cool. I mean, our room here is constantly packed every Wednesday morning at 8:30.
There's 25 people in there all sharing ideas about a book. And that's another thing when we talk about innovation and all of these things. Book clubs aren't innovative, but the way the book clubs are being done and led by the agents, not myself, no
Oh, yeah.
leadership.
And it's not man. It's in no
agent
way.
led.
Yeah.
And they take it and they run. They do a phenomenal job. Liz,
Yeah.
Adam, Alyssa, they've done an absolutely incredible job. Gina steps in, does her thing, and this is just, it gives everyone an opportunity.
And what's cool, and the thing that I like, and I heard somebody talk about this, is that you don't always love the book, but what it treats you to do is just like what nobody does on Facebook. On Facebook, you're just surrounding yourself with your opinions that you want to hear, so you feel like you're like, oh, right, my opinions are right.
Right.
You're forced to read something that you might not enjoy and then understand somebody else's opinion or whatever, and then you're like, okay, like that wasn't my favorite book, and then you fall in love with another book that somebody else doesn't like. But you kind of get around the fact that you're all discussing whatever the idea is, whatever the theme is, and then also it's like, well, oh, why are we reading this? Okay, it's very sales heavy. Greenlight, not very sales heavy at all, right? So it's like
mindset. It could be, we throw things in there to be fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. It's a creative outlet, and it lets. I mean, Lewis said it. He's like, dude, anytime you're sitting in a room and you're talking about something that has happened to you or something you're dealing with, it's therapeutic because you're hearing everybody else's story and you're like, okay, wow, like I'm not just kicking around, like I'm not in this dry spell or I'm not whatever this is. But again, it goes back to what you had mentioned is like people think it's just like, oh, you read so many books, like you're so lucky you get to read that many books. I'm like, these people are in here at 8:30 in the morning.
Perspective. How cool is perspective? Thinking different, coaching,
Right.
all of the things that we continuously talk about.
Yeah.
And it was funny. So back to the Jags game, we were up, we were all talking on our way home, and we were like, one of the wives were like, why is it, what is the difference between the teams and why obviously it was a tough loss. We got shut out. And what is it? And a lot of it boils down to, I'm not talking about the Jags or anything, but in the NFL particularly, the degree of separation for the athletes is very small, right? And athletes, this goes to business. There's a lot of smart people out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of hardworking athletes. There's a lot of hardworking real estate agents. If you don't continuously work on yourself, if you don't go to the gym, if you're an athlete, if you aren't reading or studying the new trends in real estate, the degree of separation between you, which is really smart, and the other person, which is really smart, but this person stops, you see the elevation of that person. That's why rookies, their fifth year, they're standing out because
they're obsessed with it.
It's the obsession with not
Look
letting
at Tom Brady.
go.
Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, like those guys were obsessed. They were already talented. Derek Jeter, already insanely talented. Talent will get you to the table, but what's going to keep you there is you working hard. Why were they constantly working? And just by man, they're just so lucky. It's like not lucky, dude. They're just working their absolute off to make sure that they are there. And that's what you do for us, and that's what these agents do for even my squad. And then we try and reciprocate, right? It's just like we're in this constant battle of like one-upping each other, so to speak. But it's just crazy to think that people will coast, and people do it especially during this time, during the holiday season. I was just talking to my parents yesterday, and my mom even said it herself. She used to be a hop, skip, and a jump ago, was a real estate agent before any of us were around, and she's just like, oh yeah, like the holidays always usually slow down. I'm like, it's not slowing. I'm like, it's not slowing here. People are realizing that it's winter. It's still just as cold as it was last year when they were locked inside, and they're moving.
They are moving.
Yeah, they are moving, and they're moving to Jacksonville, which is crazy. We just pulled a number. We were talking yesterday. It was like 34,000 in just the one town we were looking in inside of the county.
Yeah, inside of the county.
34,000 people, where I think 3 years ago it was like less than half of that.
It's crazy, right?
It's absolutely bananas.
It's growing so fast.
Even in my community, they're building a new high school that's going to have like 3,000 students in it.
That's insane. So this goes back to this. Everyone's like, oh, there's so many people moving here. Look at all the businesses now that are going to thrive. Look at all the businesses that will get created now. Think about the businesses now that have to recreate or still be creative.
Right.
Whereas if we didn't have this tremendous growth,
Right.
I think it's always put. That's the greatest thing about the world. I think.
Right.
Is people sometimes will be scared of growth. Sometimes people will be scared of
Change anything.
Of change, or this person's going to open this spot and this
Mhm.
is going to happen, but it's just going to make you think different, and it's just going to make you push the envelope a little bit more. And if you still have gas in the tank,
Yeah.
then you should be excited about that.
Yeah.
It's just reinventing yourself. It's waking up, and it's not doesn't have to be a new year, new me type
Right.
of thing. It can be like, oh crap,
There's just a way. Yeah.
evolve or don't.
Right. Well, and it's funny because people do that. People say, all right, it's new year, new me. Like I'm joining a gym, I'm doing whatever. And then it falls off by even just the beginning of February because people have a hard time staying accountable, which is what you've put yourself in check. I'm sure that do you think you'd be an accountable person if you didn't put the people you did in place to make you accountable?
No,
Right.
not at all.
You knew that about yourself, which is like the number one thing that everyone's like, well, you got to know it first before. That's a huge step in itself. So, I mean, a lot of people, I have to do it myself. I said it to you 2 weeks ago. I was like, it's a hard prioritization. It's hard for me, and I have to work on it. That's like my number one goal moving forward is prioritization because I know that will make me run more efficiently.
Right.
And it's constantly looking inward, and it's reading books. It's being around people. It's traveling to Dallas and putting yourself in a room and being uncomfortable, whether it's the smartest person or the least smartest person in the room, flying to Nashville, getting a hard loss. But
loss.
It's doing all those things. It's constantly, if you look at them through the wrong lens, it will look like you're just frolicking about or doing whatever, not realizing that it's constant work, and every trip, every meal, everything has a direction of like, at least if I'm pointing in the right direction and I'm doing the right things, I will.
You'll be successful.
That's it.
That's
So,
it.
I appreciate you jumping back on. It
Yeah.
was good to hear your latest travel endeavor and what you're doing to
Yeah,
constantly
thanks for-
scale this company because
Yeah, I'm excited, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be a great new year. It's gonna be a great.
Yeah.
Might be a little change coming up too. you
Yeah.
know? Might be a little new year, new me coming up.
New year, new me. Yeah. Follow our social media for a small change in one of the people sitting on stage right now. There's gonna be a minor cosmetic change. But yeah, like, subscribe, follow us everywhere. DJ and Lindsay. Thank you, DJ. We'll talk to you
Thank you.
soon. Happy holidays.
See you guys.